It's new. It's exciting. It's the new expansion for Hearts of Iron 4, which is the Middle East and the Raj. Who asked for this expansion? Better yet, who asked for a path for the Raj? But better yet, who asked for a path where you can restore the Timurid Empire? Okay, I'm going to be real with you. This is quite a tricky path to do. However, I've found loads of exploits you can take advantage of to get this path incredibly easily. And the secret weapon is the elephants of the modern age. No, it doesn't make any sense. But what can I say? Elephants are very strong. And I like that. To begin with, take your entire army, pop them here, exercise them indefinitely. Next up, what's this? Resistance? That's a problem. Definitely when you've got no garrisons. Next up, the Great Depression. Price controls. No longer depressed. It's just that easy. Have you tried being happy? Military factories. That's right. We're going to build a few of them in the Pakistani area of the British Raj. Why? It'll make sense in a moment. Then we have to focus on production. And also we have to invent artillery. That's right. We don't even know what artillery is. And production and mills and 5-speed. Off we go. The objective of exercising this army of all these boys is to make this number right here. You see this one? This number go big. And this number go big, and we can use that to execute the first part of the plan. Okay, in short, this is the alternative history path. You either go Timurids here, or you go the East Indian Company. If anyone wants to see an East Indian Company playthrough by myself with all the exploits, of course, please subscribe to this video. Yes. This path allows you to secure weapons and then rebel against the British to form your own independent state. So let's do that. Widespread protests. I just don't care. You now can secure weapons. You now have 5 army experience. Disband your army. Create a new template. And this template will consist of a single horse. Boom. Decommission all templates. Just need this. The Cavalry 36A. Secured weapons. Stir unrest in the north. After 70 days, these 4 states will break away and you gain a military factory and some war support. So do that. Also, we're going to research radio. Because you don't have a radio. You don't have artillery. The British are like, no, we do not trust the Raj with any of this high-tech gear. Concentrate industry, because we are going to be making lots of the same kind of weapon throughout practically the entirety of the game. Trust me, it'll make sense. The Mughal uprising, which fixes your Great Depression, fixes the chance of getting the risk of famine, and also breaks you away from Britain. It was Britain that caused all those problems. Was it though? Radio. Do it. Boom. Uprising in northwestern India. So you've kind of got a slither of Pakistan. Get all your army, boys. Put a front line, but not the entirety of the front line, just half of it. You don't want to be holding this northern tip. Go here. You've got an air force. Just attach it onto your army. Select one of your boyos. You only have 2, so you've not got much of a choice. The guy can be promoted, and I guess you can dig in with some defensive doctrine when you get the command power. Now you play a game of surviving, okay? Surviving. So you can go for these focuses, but you can't progress to this one until you've completed this war. Now, this war will end in 250 days if you survive. And if you die, you die. It's over. However, to win and to progress, you just have to survive for 250 days, which is kind of a cool take. I like the paradox doing something completely different. So let's do these 3 focuses. Fixing agrarian society, factories, factories, factories. You get the gist. Anyway, get on the front line, Control B. And then we're going to start making a few horses. As many as we can. And basically until we have no manpower left. Release the boys. So they have better divisions than you. Significantly better divisions than you. So you can't really win them 1v1. And Britain is involved in this war too. So if you scroll all the way back, you can see, yeah, you've just pissed off the British Empire. Oh dear. What bad things may happen to you. Colonialism and all that jazz. Okay, you also have no stability. To fix that, there's 2 advisors you can go for, which give you a little bit of stab. Still at 0% though. When the war over, you will gain some of that stability back. Stability. There is a dilemma. The Raj doesn't have enough divisions to hold the front line. See, there's gaps. Like, there's one here, there's one here. So what you need to do now is train up all your horses, deploy them, and then push into the gaps in the front line. And I'll admit to you, the secret of this isn't very elegant. All you got to do is go across the entirety of the front line and push. Now, these divisions have no attack capabilities, but one thing they do have is the ability to snake into the front line. So that's exactly what you are going to do. Find your gaps and push. This is a bit of a multiplayer strategy, this. It's referred to as snaking. It's a matter of not really fighting troops on the front line, but just to push forward and break through to the front. If you make gaps and push through, eventually break through, and then all the divisions that they've got will be isolated and pinned in place. Be aware that your horses have no fighting capabilities, so don't attempt to fight with them. Just walk around the outside, round the outside, round the outside. That's all you got to do. Objective is just to pin in the divisions they've got. They've got way more firepower than you, and they will beat you. All you've got to do is go around them. Now, this is not how you're meant to win this war. In all fairness, you're not meant to win this war, but this is meant to be the unwinnable civil war that I'm going to win and show you how to win. There are a lot of victory points in India, though, so FYI, you are going to do a lot of right-clicking here and snaking the entirety of the front. If anyone's moving, Control B and get them to the front line nice and fast. There you go. You just capped the British Raj in 1936. That's definitely how this is meant to play out, right? Now, the beauty of doing it like this is you get all the weapons of the Raj. Everyone's going to go to the front now in Burma, and then you guys are going to push onto this front as well. What I'm basically doing is I'm pressing S to split here, and I'm just right-clicking everyone across the front line, and then we're going to basically cap Burma. Burma is an independent entity in this new expansion. Is that a problem for you guys? I don't know. It's a problem for me, because look at all those resources. That tungsten. Ouch. I would have much preferred to be a Raj that is somewhat whole, that has access to it. But in this case, no, you don't get it. To be fair, there's only really one victory point in Burma, and it is the capital here of Rangoon. Boom. There you go, Burma. Whoa, 5 guns. I will definitely take advantage of that and use that. All right, we have another front line that's opened up here because of a naval invasion. Everyone get into position, move forward, and pin them in. You've got so many divisions here, you'll be able to pin them in. This shouldn't be too much of a hassle. To be fair, at this point, all you need to do is wait for the looming ceasefire to work its way down. It is just a waiting game, unfortunately. You can win. I believe in you. It can be done. All right, that's it. No more focus to do. Alternatively now, you can gain access to more mills, and that's what I'd really recommend you do. Alternatively, you can try and get rid of agrarian society, which can very slowly bleed away. However, you've got so much manpower, it's really not a problem. However, I like mills, so let's do some mills. Concentrated 1 is naturally followed by concentrated 2. So the only troops that have got any combat capabilities are your 8 militia that you start off with. So make sure the ones there, the one doing the actual pushing and the attacking. To be fair, this naval invasion they've done now is just a nuisance. Just ignore it. Keep pushing into them. Eventually, you'll pin them in place and they'll not be able to break out. Army offense guy. Go for that guy early for ticking army experience. Ammunition factory followed by a rifle factory. I like soft attack plus all these special bonuses. So we'll just stack. Not production, no. We want soft attack. Then production, and then breakthrough, hardness, and all that. We have radio now, and we're going to go for the soft attack bonuses as well. Actually, no, that's not true. We'll go for some construction. Naval invasion in Bengal. To be fair at this point, it doesn't really matter, because once again, you're just stalling for time. You don't even need to win. And Britain invades. They grab all the ports, which is good for them. However, then they leave themselves in a situation where they're going to get overwhelmed and lose all the access to their ports. And then we push in here, and then we just gobble up the rest of the naval invasion. It looked like a really good landing, and then all of a sudden they didn't cover their rear. Gallipoli, much. Military pension's pretty good because ticking war support for over a year, plus a little bit of construction for your mills. So do that. Meanwhile, how are things going? It looks like a pretty good breakaway state, I would say. Yeah, there is no win condition for this. Don't think the devs intended to actually win this. Unfortunately, you just get to look at this pretty princely breakaway state, and then all of a sudden realize after 4, 3, 2, 1, the war is won. You gain extra land because you did dominate the Raj. Unfortunately, it's not a straight-up win-win. Unfortunately, it's just considered a conditional win in your favor. Anyway, move all the boys back onto the front line. And here we are. To be fair with you, probably could delete these. We're not going to delete them because they're isolated. They need to be on our front line. Otherwise, you lose 80% of the manpower and the equipment, which isn't good. So let's get to the bread and butter here. What's going on? Down the left path here will allow you to unify with the rest of the Raj and form princely states with inside of the British Raj, kind of like puppet states. What are the princes? But they are basically your subjects. The center path is working on your science industry, as well as this path, which is going to work on elephants. And then the right path is a kind of a conquest path. Let's do this one first. The Peacock Prince. No longer will you be a princely breakaway state. You will be a prince. You get to select which prince you get to become. Boom! You're no longer a princely state. You are a sultanate of Al Hind. And you get to select what guy you want to go with. Do you want to go for science? Do you want to go for core attack and defense, stability, and political power? Do you want to go for a big boost to attack on core territory? Or do you want a little bit of political power, stability, and more support? I kind of like this guy, actually, because he gives the most of the stuff that I need. I need stability. Political power is good, and then attack and defense on core territory is always nice. You know what? Working conditions, because stability is a massive problem. You will gain some big boost stability, but not quite yet. You have to wait. You have to be patient. Sharpen the war. gives you access to a mountaineer and some mills, and then we're going to get the elephants. And that's the whole point of this video. I want to just show you how OP the elephants are. Top it off, we can need a little bit of steel, so we'll get that from France. And now we actually have some pretty decent production. End of the day, it's the guns we need. Okay, delete all the horses. You get all the manpower and all the guns back. And now we've got a pool of guns. Now we're going to have to start working on artillery. So we'll put a single mill into that and start trickling in production efficiency. Concentrated 2, then production machine goods, because we need to get that production up so we're producing as many guns as possible per day. Elephants of the modern age, which grants proper heritage for free, which is quite good because it gives you less penalties on core territory, plus cavalry are free upgraded. But the big spicy thing is you get elephants. Unlocks elephantry, which they behave like cavalry. They're a little bit faster than infantry. However, they kind of behave like tanks because they've got high HP, high organization, and they have really high soft attack too. You're just going to have to close your eyes and imagine that these horses, well, elephants in this case, have artillery on their backs as well. Does that make no sense whatsoever? No, it doesn't. But hey, listen, we've reached alt history territory now, and I'm kind of enjoying it. So let's enjoy the ride. Next up, we're going to need some trucks, and we're also going to need some trains. Crucial elements of a supply nation. Attacking is important, so we're going to do bold attack. Let's not forget about that. The elephants of the modern age. What does an elephant look like? And this is it. Here's what you think it is. It is an elephant division. And elephants, what are they good at? Well, one way of finding out, we select a single division of infantry. Yep. And then if we change that single battalion, it basically tells us the difference. So anything in red basically means that's the advantage elephants have. So elephants have more defense, more breakthrough, significantly more soft attack, hard attack, HP, more speed, more piercing. However, the reliability takes a hit, so does the division recovery rate, and also the equipment cost is quite high. It will require artillery. That's right, can you see that? 48 artillery for this division. So just imagine on the back of this elephant is a piece of artillery. You can't actually see it. No, there's no artillery here. But just imagine it's towing artillery. Use your imagination. Anyway, in short, very high soft attack for what it is, okay? And then why not make the entirety of my army an elephant? That's right. We surprisingly have enough production for that. Good. Okay. Timur bureaucracy. Conquer Afghanistan. Yes. Yeah, the kind of strange part of this is that the Timurids can't run really around this area. I believe the capital was in somewhere around here, in the Stans region. And then they had Afghanistan and Iran. So Pakistan was something that they controlled, but not quite their home turf, if you catch my drift. Okay, we definitely need these as maximum levels. Level 3 to do the maximum amount of damage. Be aware, mounted infantry. That's right, cavalry. So that's right, they'll take advantage of these passive bonuses. So take them, grab them, take them, embrace them. And the path we're going to be going for is going to be the Grand Battle Plan path, which is the left side, which has maximum planning. So we're basically going to stack the raw bonuses that you can get your elephants. And that means we're going to have a majority of you guys in the north. And then we'll just have like 3 in the south. Then we'll select the first motorized priority button. See this one? Once. And this will prioritize all the supply depots that are nearby. Be aware your supply depots in the south are not connected to the ones in the north. So unfortunately, you have to build supply to that with a railroad, which is tricky because we don't have access to any civilian factories. We have to mobilize. We'll have to do partial. And now we have one single mill building a single railway, which will complete it in 5 months' time. Yeah. Conquer Afghanistan. Let's go. Up exercise and get the org up. We're going to attack on aggressive. Push with as much force as possible. Smashing into the front lines. With, well, elephants, of course. A heads up. You want to capture Kabul. That is basically the whole of the supply for Afghanistan. So attack. Push. Pushing in automatically. Let them do their own thing to begin with. Because they have their planning bonus. And we're in now. We're pushing into Kabul. That's good. Keep the pace up. If we get Kabul, this is practically all over now anyway. Yeah, it is. There you go. GG. Grab the victory points in the north and the war is over. Now, the Afghans have no supply where I have supply because I have their capital. Make it make sense. Next up, we can go through the Wakhan corridor, which is basically this state, which is at war with the Japanese. This is a wonky state because it has very poor supply, so you have to play it very tricky. All right, I'm going to train some more elephants. Another 5. Now it's the southern border that needs the big push. push into the southern capital, their new capital. And there we go, cap them. That's good. Grab all that land. All right, the next front line is going to be into the north. All right, push everyone to the north. We'll do a staff office plan if we had planning bonus, but we don't. We're just going to attack immediately. And my advice is just right-click on the capital. That's where the supply depot is. That's the supply you need to get. They won't expect you to attack them. You can push in and be super aggressive. Okay, you can do the Legend of Timur now, which basically cores all of Afghanistan. The Chinese are trying to pull back their troops here, but they're, as you can see, kind of struggling. Therefore, we've got their capital region now, so we're all in a good situation. Now, you need to build a railway from here to here and all the way to here. That's right. Without our production, which we have very little production, you need to get draft dodging. Okay, that's not what I wanted to happen. You need to use your very little industry to build railways, even though you don't. Do you know what? You could ignore this one because you've got the manpower and you don't actually care. Let's actually ignore that one for the time being. You getting the pattern here? Elephants are quite strong, aren't they? They are very strong. You're in a position right now, you've got somewhat amount of supply. So get onto the front line, build planning bonus, but our dude is ill. 16 days. Never mind, just keep pushing and keep going. I think at this point, actually, our supply is so bad, I think we just have to hold, put, get into position, just dig in, wait for supply to arrive here, then we can make a counterattack. Yep, that's what we're going to have to do. When we gain cores in Afghanistan, we'll have access to more factories. Then we'll be able to build these railways that are taking quite a long time to build. Top it off as well, we'll double up on our motorization priority. We'll double motorization priority. And we do have enough trucks for that, even though these aren't connected. Legend of Timur. Now we have access to still no factories. Okay, we need to look for factories now. So factory button at the top of the filter. And there's 2 civilian factories here. And the Thunder Elephants also give 2 military factories as well. Okay, we'll do the 2 for the civilian factories. We need raw industry. We've got none. Third part is just being in low supply here. You can see we're taking losses in guns just basically from the attrition they're experiencing. But we've got no choice, really. What else can we do? There's a little bit of an exploit here. These divisions require artillery. But what you can do is actually get away with not actually having that much artillery. Because right now we're behind in artillery by 212 pieces. Now, that probably wouldn't be a big deal, but these divisions aren't hurting their strength that much. In that case, don't worry too much about the artillery. Just focus on the guns. Okay. Machine tools. We need more production. Just raw output. Okay. Draft dodging has become more of a problem again. And we've still got manpower, though, so it's not a big deal. We are going to do war props. More war support means more stability, so just hang on to that. All right, we've got more civilian factories now, so another week and a bit. We should have access to supply in the north here. So here's the deal. Why don't you go down the left path, Dave, and just take out the Raj and unify and have lots of factories? It's not as easy as that. The war against the Allies is very tough to win, even with the elephants. So you need to kind of like gain a base, which is Afghanistan and the Middle East. Then you can push out from there. You will get your reward, okay? You just gotta sit tight. Okay, we'll sort draft dodging now. Do some more doctrines. Defense for the horses. Elephants. Sorry, correct myself. Elephants. 3 military factories. I'll take that. And the supply has arrived. Let me give it a second for supply to tick up for the organization. And then we can do cheeky maneuvers like this. Very, very cheeky. Elephants in the mountains. What were you thinking, Hannibal? I mean, Timur. Chop through. And that's an encirclement. Easy encirclement. You're in a good spot right now, so take advantage of it. So push northwards. Make those encirclements. Another one there. And another one there. And then we've got a big push now, so we can push in and cap them. Oh, and we get some free encirclements on the way too, which is always nice to do. Big problem now is the next supply depot, I kid you not, is here. But then the next one is all the way to communist China. Yeah, it's pretty bad. All right, so we're going to right click on this one and just make a home base here. Yep, we've captured what we need. We're just going to stop now, get onto position. And once again, this is Transport Tycoon. We are going to build another railway. Well, we've completed on 2 weeks' time. Then just stick here, and then you know this part, right? You're going to make encirclements. That's right. Don't need the trains as much, so I'm going to slide the trains to the bottom. Oh, but then there's no production at all. Maybe I don't want to do that then. Unleash from Japan. Okay, Japanese puppet. I will accept. War props for some more war support. The mill. Access to supply now. We get infantry lead, even though it's technically classed as a cavalry because it's a horse. Why? I don't know. It's just an old paradox bug. Been like that for absolutely ages. Problem now is run out of steel. Is there any steel as a part of my focus tree? There is Tartar steel, but I need control of Bombay, and I do not have Bombay, so there is no steel. But the only solution now is to expand the Silk Road which gives access to loads of factories. Okay, so more factories is what we're going to need. All right, I'm going to push into the south here, and hopefully I'll have an opportunity for another encirclement. Pushing into desert, cold desert. Is this the big encirclement? Is this the big one? We're pinning them in place, and it is. This makes the war for Japan like significantly easier for them. They owe me big time. So it looks like there's a supply depot here, but this is classed as a capital supply depot, which basically means that when you take it, the supply depot disappears. Basically means when the nation doesn't have a supply depot, they get a free one in their capital. All right, everyone's in position here. What do we do? The cheeky thing about this bit is you have the cool opportunity to make encirclements on the AI. And being that your elephants are so unbelievably strong, it should be quite easy to do. Yeah, really easy to do. You might be able to cap the Zambai Sanmar. They're unfortunately one of those weird nations that doesn't really have a lot of victory points. So if you do take the entirety of the nation, you still have access to victory points. Expand the Silk Road. I'm going to go for this one that gives extra civilian factory, and then we can import some steel, which we'll get from the Soviet Union. Now, we weren't able to cap them. Once again, they're a weird nation, which basically doesn't really have many victory points. So the sad part about this is we just have to retreat back to this supply depot. Okay, this one horse division is so persistent that he wants to try and cap this. Nah, it's a waste of time. Okay, we've got cavalry leader now, so you can go for cavalry expert. Ideally, right now, you want to go for a new general because you want to start getting the officer corps or the cavalry specialist. But unfortunately, we've not got many generals to work with. And as I thought, this looks like so much progression. You're like, Dave, what are you thinking? But unfortunately, I have to back up to this supply depot. There is no other solution, unfortunately. We have to back up out of here. Otherwise, we're going to sit in low supply in the middle of China and just take lots and lots of attrition, which just isn't a good idea. We're just going to back up all the way back to where we began. Best strategy in this position is to make your encirclements. And then you got 2 divisions here. I'll take those. 1 and 2. The retreat back. Yes, this is cheesy. I know you're mad at me right now. You're angry. Tell me how angry you are in the comments. If you are the most angry of them all, try to subscribe. Apparently, it's an easy way of getting release and feeling calm. Not confirmed. Not scientifically proven. All right, we're going to do war propaganda. You can only usually see this if you're below 50% war support whilst at war. It will give you a big chunk of war support. If you're above 50% war support, it's really useful because you can go for war economy. All right, another opportunity for encirclement, so I will take it. There's again more elephants in the mountains. The stats on the elephants are so unbelievably good. That's why you're able to do this. There you go, another free encirclement. Strikes! Nice! When you're below 50% war support or 50% stability, you have a random chance of a crisis happening. It's an awful mechanic. It's been in Hoi for a very long time. I don't know why it's still in the game, to be honest with you, because it's literally the anti of fun. Apparently, someone at Paradox thought this would be the worst mechanic in the world, and they decided to add it to the game. AI is trying to encircle me from behind here, so I'm just going to a few divisions on the other side. Many months later, many weeks later, cleaning up those front lines. Now, what's really strange is the elephants don't actually use artillery. Even technically, that's what the artillery is consumed by for making the battalion. So it means that when you go for these tech bonuses for artillery, they don't actually benefit your elephants, which is sad. So we're going to go for anti-air and add an extra battalion on just for some anti-air capabilities. All right, let's get all the boys into position here, do a staff office plan, and then we can squeeze the front line from the other side. We've got enough firepower now. We've eliminated enough enemy divisions, so we should be in a position now we'll be able to push and do big damage. One little trick is now when you've got level 6 for your Maya, what you can do is go for, when you've got 25 political power, you know, I never even knew this exists, Ordnance Factory Board. And it's got a communist hammer and sickle level 7 or more. Allows you to go for extra production efficiency cap, but you lose reliability. Anyway, we're going to go for vertical integration, which basically reduces the cost overall for the amount of guns you need for less steel usage, which is really good for what we're doing because you don't have a lot of resources to begin with. Low supply is my enemy. Okay, we have capped them now. We don't have access to a supply depot again. I'm not sure if this supply depot up here is usable, but we're still going to try and crack into it and get it. Situation is your org is always ticking down. So make your pushes, make your attacks, and then get into position. Okay, we need to stop attacking now because the front line isn't very wide anymore. I don't have access to a supply depot back here, though. Got access to anti-air, so we'll start producing that now. Just a few factories to begin with. It looks like we're probably going to attack from the other side here. Maybe help cap China a little bit earlier than usual. No, it's not a supply depot. It was a capital-based one again. So I think the only other supply depot that's a legit one might be this one, but I'm not sure if this might be a capital one too. It's a bit of an oversight by the devs here. It's frustrating. Like when you want to build a supply depot, but you can build one if I want to, but it's going to take me like 6 months to do it. I'm just going to be sat here twiddling my thumbs for 6 months. Just super sad because I kind of want to be playing the game and not just waiting for something to build. Ugh. We're at home. Elephants. Yeah, another 7. End of the day, the objective is to take out China, and if we can do that now, then we can help out the Japanese. I'm going to go aggressive in the south and make a big push against Yellow China from the western front. 98%. That's for access from Japan, and we can snake into the victory points for China. Will this city be enough? 99%. Oh, there's one more victory point here. Ah, there we go. All right, so we make sure we take all the land to the west. Obviously, our contribution is going to be significantly smaller than Big China, so the amount we can take is going to be kind of limited. Our contribution was 17%. Okay, you want that piece of land, you can have it. You want that piece of land too. Never actually looked, but the ones with the steel are going to be more worthwhile. Oh, wow, that's a lot of land. I am proud of that. That's a lot of land. Damn, I'm big now. But how do we get bigger? That's the question. Iran. Okay, we have a surplus of guns now, a bit behind on the artillery. We're starting to work on excavation tech now. We also have actual proper garrisons. Things are definitely looking up now. General now has got cavalry expert, the field marshal, should I say. Offensive doctrine? No, he's already offensive guy. Yeah, why not? Extra +1 attack, why not? Conquerors of Persia. Another 2 more elephants, and now we have a full army. And we're going to attack the Iranians immediately when the war goal kicks in, so we can, well, take them off guard, I guess. Don't forget, supply is king, so railroad to those victory points. In the east, unfortunately, there aren't that many of them. But you can see the power of the elephants now. The minute they engage in combat with full supply, they just demolish every single division. I think there's nothing there at all. Boom, Tehran, got it. This is going to be the quickest cap. They ran this. We'll get the northern cities as well. Grab that victory point in the south. And... oh no, we didn't actually manage to get their other capital in the west. But we might be able to cap them without it. Yep, there we go. Yoink. All right, we're in a position now that whatever we do, whatever we respond to, we're going to be at war with the Allies. We take Turkey. We're going to be at war with Germany and the UK. Iraq the same, and the Raj is the same. So now just kind of dig in, settle in, and make more elephants. At least 3 armies, at least. Okay, the revolt of the princes. Elephants. Deploy. Ooh, yeah. Big lad. Okay, we reached the point now our manpower's getting really low. You've got 2 options as the Raj. You either go up your conscription laws, which is very expensive due to agrarian society. See this one. Or you just fix agrarian society, which you have a high manpower anyway. So in that case, we're going to actually ignore the extra research slot and we'll go for the agrarian society fix, which is this one. Don't forget about your doctrines. We're going to go on the left path for maximum planning bonus. The beauty of elephants is because they kind of do everything. They're infantry, they're tanks. When you got anti-air on them, they basically don't have to worry about air support. I mean, air support would benefit you as well, though. But in this situation, I could just make pure elephants and therefore concentrate on just making raw production bonuses, ignoring this, well, most of it anyway, and then focusing on your passive bonuses. But as I said, ideally, you want 3 armies. You're going to have 1 in the west and then 2 in the east. Quick defeat of the Raj is essential. Otherwise, you tend to get bogged down in quite a long war. So I would not recommend it. Meanwhile, the passive bonuses won't benefit you, but the actual artillery pieces will. So take advantage of the artillery for the extra more raw soft attack. So the boost to agrarian society. And then there's 2 more here as well. So right now I have no manpower. So this is a little manpower pool that you can feed into by chipping away at agrarian society. 0 manpower. So fix it. Damn, this guy has done so well. Leveled up to 10 skill for attack. I'm proud of you, boy. Another army on the Iraqi front line. New general, too. Ah, they're brothers. Okay, I've just realized that the supply depots from east and west aren't connected, so I'll just got to do that right now. Cancel the iron imports, just so I've got an actual proper industry now. And then we can build this in a normal amount of time now. Fortunately, my production from my military factories has gone to absolute 0 because I need steel desperately. The one thing on this path that's massively lacking, there is no steel. All right, supply is here. Import the steel again. Final thing to do is to add on the anti-air. Exercise everyone else to level 3. Right, most are leveled up to 2. Then we attack. And when the orc is up, 3, 2, 1. Boom. When you declare war, all the princes will rise up, and you're probably thinking, well, Dave, why did you delay this war for so long when clearly look at the way this is right now? This is going to be dead easy for you. It's not as easy as you think. A lot of these princes will fold relatively quickly. Redraw your front lines, reassign them to the front line, railway them to the front, and while they're disorganized, just snipe them really quickly. Once again, the horses, well, the elephants, will demolish the Raj at a relatively good rate. Meanwhile, in the west, doing okay, but I don't really care about this front line at the time being. It's something I'll care more about as the war progresses and I can maneuver my forces over 2 fronts. 2 front wars, whenever that has ever worked, eh? Be aware these railways aren't connected. They are now. Right, the front line is now open and we just hoover it all up. This situation, the British are distracted because they are fighting a multiple front war. And in your circumstance, you just want to keep pushing for all the ports. Friendlies from Vichy. Yep, I will take that. And go, they're locked in now. They've not got access to a port. You just get to hoover them all up. The British Raj has collapsed. Don't forget to close all the pockets. Also, don't forget about the east. Meanwhile, our main man with 10 attack is now going to join this front line. The big lad. Yeah, be aware of naval invasions. They're going to be incredibly common in this part of the world. Now you get to unite the subcontinent. We need access to West Bengal. All right, okay, we're working on that. Here we go. Unite the subcontinent. Now they all become your vassals. You core all the interior that you own. You get a war goal against Burma, which doesn't really matter because you're going to be at war with them anyway. All right, Iraq has now gone. However, our assault does not end. Keep moving. Field Marshal frontline. Because Paradox have balkanized the Near East, you'll find it easy to get through here because as you cap these smaller nations like Palestine and Jordan, you'll find that they'll just leave the Allied divisions hovering so they can't move any further forward. It'll make sense in a moment. I'll take out Syria, and you'll see in a second. Lebanon's fallen, and now you can see, look, now the front lines have been split. Now you can keep pushing all the way to the coastline, the Suez Canal. Another elephant army. There we go, you've gotten over the Suez Canal. That's the hardest part. And now you can hoover everyone up. They're all pocketed. Elephants are quite strong, aren't they? And that's Syria gone. Busted through Africa. Burma's gone too. I think that's everything. Here it is. Okay, what I like to do at this point in the game is actually, we don't actually need the elephant army now I think about it. We actually need these militia divisions. These are actually really good at one specific task. And that task is just to hold front lines, particularly ones against naval invasions, while we're helping out the Italians here. All right, we're aiming for now restore the Timurid Empire, which has some pretty decent bonuses. The biggest thing is it cores a bunch of land, so let's do that now. This is the furthest we need to go in the southern part of Africa, so go here. Now I'd recommend is break off 6 divisions, add them to a different theater, otherwise you'll make mistakes. I always make that mistake. And then make a front line here, and then we'll drop some forts, just to indicate where this front line ends. A lack of generals is starting to show. There is a way of getting a bunch of generals. You have to do the Mughal court here, which is on the left. We'll do that soon. Naval invasions, this happens all the time, so be prepared for this. We'll deploy our militia and put them on this front line. And the militia serve their job of just being a distraction and cornering the naval invasion troops. Britain will always do naval invasions because they're always going to have dominance of the sea. Got 2 options here. Secular administration, which is really good for an extra boost of production efficiency and research. 12% is actually really good, not to be scoffed at. However, on this side, though, you gain a massive boost to compliance. Compliance and stability are just amazing in Hoi 4, so you can't say no to them. It's just too damn good. All right, you actually have too many mills now, so you get to make some civvies. Civvies in 1942. Yeah, make it make sense. How good are the militia? Not that great. Clearly, the elephants are really pulling their weight. As you can see, the militia aren't barely doing anything. FeedBackGaming, how to make friends and how to make enemies. Love how they're bombing my oil here like I care about oil. I'm completely elephant powered. I don't need any oil anyway. Anyway, push into Turkey. Oh, the firepower is massive. They last standard and it melted their divisions. And the front line is decimated. You know, the biggest downside to this strat is just the amount of equipment and manpower you need to actually reach this point. You reach the point where you're struggling to fulfill the gaps in the front line. And then you've got the power of the elephants, which just demolish everything. Hey, listen, it's a good problem to have, all right? The Mughal court, and this gives you a bunch of advisors. At the minute, you have no advisors. And all of a sudden, you gain access to loads of them, which is a creative way of doing it. Paradox have never done it like that before, so which I think is kind of cool. Love this multiple 3-way front line here. Allies and Axis don't know who they're fighting. Let's see if we can grab Tripoli. Turkey is capped. Looks like they didn't join any of the forces, so we'll take the entirety of Turkey. And why not actually have a navy now? That's right, you start the game without a navy, now you have a navy. What we're going to do here is put garrisons for these front lines, because I don't really want to deal with these fronts. We're going to move everyone into position and just go here. Once again, it's just one of those really easy ways of not having to deal with this kind of issue. East and West connected, and we're not at war with Vichy France, so it's all good. The Mughal courts. Let's have a look. Costly reformer. Eats consumers and political power. No. Annex cost. That's actually kind of cool because it lets you annex the princes, which is kind of cool. But that's for later on. Defense on core territory. Interesting. Stability. Intelligence. I'm not going to lie. Some of these advisors aren't very good. Okay, we'll go for diverse monarch. Gaining stability. Go for war economy too. Could really do with some high command guys though. All these bonuses down the left side are really good too. Extra attack for horses is just amazing. Which technically the elephants are horses. And plus we go for restore the Timurid Empire. So let's do that. Okay, let's bring back our main army here. Okay, we desperately need to close this front line now. So let's bring all of the elephants back and close this bulge. And then we'll use the militia for their intent now by putting them on the ports. Elephants have arrived on the front, getting planning bonus. Now with planning and the insane stats they've got, plus this 10 attack general, as you can see now, we just peel through them, demolish that front, and get a big chunk of the British army that's boxed in here. Restore the Timurid Empire. We not change name? Okay, guess not. Just gives you a flat bonus, which I'm not arguing about. It's good. And it lets you core all this. And then the cores appear now. Now, there we go. So you thought the elephants were strong, right? We'll get this. There's an attack bonus here for defense and attack for cavalry, which of course includes elephants. Then you have the crown of the world, which has an extra 5% extra attack. So, yeah, the elephants get stronger. This is fun, isn't it? You can see this. So we have surrounded by elephants from here to here to here. And then we have the Axis on this northern island here, fighting the allies on the southern island here, as I mentioned, while surrounded by elephants. Crown of the world. An eye for an eye allows you to declare war on the UK, which is always a weird thing to do, to let you declare on a major as a special national focus award. If you're going to get that focus at the bottom of the focus tree, you're technically going to always be at war with a major anyway. But this technically could be in a historical game multiplayer, so I suppose you can't rule it out, right? We have our first general, who is a cavalry leader, which is now a cavalry expert. Now he can become a cavalry specialist, and boom, and now we actually have more attack and defense for elephants. The bonuses just keep stacking. This is part one. Now part two. I've got something spicy to show you. So another army. Well, let's make that 2 armies. 48, so 2 24s. That's right, you can math. I believe in you. Also, we need a massive tech change. We're okay for the construction, but everything else needs to change. Yep, synthetic oil is probably something that's going to be useful. I'm going to start focusing on planes now. The Indian Branch Supermarine. Or the Hindustan Aircraft Corporation. That looks pretty good too. I think I'm going to go for that one. With that, we're going to need fat engines to put bombs on it. And then finally, we'll need the bombs themselves. And now we've got the option for the big bomb. Little bomb, big bomb. Little bomb, big bomb. You get it. And as you can see now, our industry is pretty fat. We have like so much civilian production now. 45, 50, 60 civilian factories currently being used all in one go. All right, next part of the plan is to grab your additional divisions. We're going to move them to Ankara, and then we're going to exercise the entirety of our army. Some of the divisions might be compromised wherever they position, but for the most part, we should be okay. That's right. I love this. Doing jumping jacks and push-ups on the front line while simultaneously being attacked. Prepared? Unprepared? Okay, an extra research slot is going to go a long way now. One other thing we need to do is we need radar. So we're going to go for an aerodynamics and avionics facility in our capital. Just Delhi. We'll just put that right there. Radar is essential because it is detection for other planes, but mainly for detecting of ships. Therefore, naval strikes are actually going to be like considerably more effective. Okay, what I want to do in the meantime is get a little bit of air XP, okay? And to get that, we're going to need some planes. Unfortunately, we have no air XP, so we can't even make a design for planes. So how do you get around that? Well, you get a license from the Soviet Union, which we have mutual enemies, and we love each other because of that. Request a license, look at the planes, and what options we got. We've got this one, they will accept. 1 civilian factory. Are there any more advanced ones? I'm going to probably take a guess that this design is probably horrendous. Yes, it is. It's dreadful. Listen, you got to start somewhere, haven't you? So all the excess are going to go into here. And we're going to need a ton of aluminium and a ton of rubber now. So get that from Siam. And aluminium is the tricky one. To be fair with you, there's not a lot of that in the world. The only way we can get around that is if we make our planes that don't require as much aluminium by making them out of wood. It's a possibility. It's not ideal, but it's something we can do in the meantime. That's one resource that we can't make out of thin air. We can make rubber and oil, but we cannot make aluminium. The plan with these planes is just to deploy them. And to be honest with you, probably just exercise and they'll be fine. Because if we put them in combat, they're just going to get shot down. Send them over to here. And they're just exercising indefinitely. Japan would like us to join their faction. Is that a good move by me? Is that a win? Yeah, let's do that. We can always leave the faction if need be. The pink faction has crawled through Asia, making 0.03 air XP per day. This is not efficient use of planes. We do have this though. See this? Close air support genius. And a big bonus to air support mission efficiency and ground factor. Fortunately though, we do not have a chief of the Air Force and we do not have a chief of the Navy. So unfortunately, we're going to have to go for a focus for that, which is this one that gives ticking XP. Almost like Paradox New. Elephants. 2 more armies. Deploy them here. Motorized priority exercise to level 3. There we go. Indian Air Force gaining ticking air XP. Essential. Another thing that's going on is we're slowly draining the autonomy of all of our puppet nations. See these blue ones around here? And eventually we can integrate them more, getting more and more of their factories. One other thing to note too is we have lots of resources untapped, so we probably want to take advantage of that. Steel. Not much aluminium in Asia, unfortunately. Bit of steel in Iraq too. Not massive amounts though, so just give me that little bit of extra. For the time being though, we're going to sit on the political power and not use it. All right, bigger engine. So if you're not familiar with licenses, you have to get a license agreement. Then you can look at the technology. Then you can start producing the equipment at a big penalty. As you can see here, minus 35% lightest production, which is dreadful. And the resources is dreadful too. And also you have to pay civilian factories to maintain this license. I'm sure if you cancel this license now, you can't produce the aircraft anymore. No, you can't. It just cancels the production completely. Wow. Well, I did not gain us any XP, so that was a complete waste of time. However, we can go to Japan and ask for a license. And they might be able to offer some planes that are actually pretty good. So what you want to look for is the first word here. It says basic, improved. That's good, improved. Yeah, the improved one's the best one they've got. It doesn't let you look at the design though. It just lets you look at the cost of it. Hindustan, get to look at the design. And the design is not the best, but it is what it is. Ah, we have new generals. We have the dog and the dog and the dog and the dog. Be aware, guys, this is an early access version that is not complete. The Paradox are giving me access to, so just be aware there's a few bugs, and this is an example of a bug. You don't say. You're telling me in my finished version it won't have dogs? What a downgrade. Some fun bonuses throughout the focus tree that I'm going to focus on, but I won't go into depth in showing each one. This one's pretty good, reducing supply by 6% and getting some org. That's pretty sweet. Also here, if you go down Indian Army, you've got the option to improve your armed force. This one gives planning bonus. This one gives HP and infantry attack. And this one gives extra armor attack. As you can see, there's quite a lot of bonus just sprinkled throughout the focus tree. So go for the ones that you need the most. Aerodynamics and avionics facility. Let's hire ourselves Elizabeth Roberts. She doesn't sound like she got an Indian name, but we accept everyone into our modern Sultanate of Al-Hind. Even though I'm meant to be the Timurids. I think that might be a bug. Anyway, regardless, she's going to figure out radar. No, there is a penalty here to... Oh, she's inexperienced. There's not a lot you can do about that. When you hire a new scientist straight up, there's a big penalty to her research speed. But as she develops and she learns more tricks of the trade, she will get better and better at what she does. I think we can make a plane now. We select this one. Then we can specifically say we want special modules of non-strategic materials. What that means is it does not require as much aluminium. If I save that, it won't let me. Okay, we're learning how this mechanic works now. All right, so small interwar, auto upgrade, put on a machine gun, then non-strategic materials. Okay, this is our very first plane. Boom. And this uses significantly less aluminium. To be corrected, it actually uses 0 aluminium, which is actually a really big advantage. It makes me think so sometimes that upgrading might not be the right thing to do. Oh, it might not be. So the new model requires 3 aluminium, meaning that it will cost some aluminium. So this is like a crazy cheat code if you think about it. So let's not auto upgrade. Let's just put a bigger, fatter engine on it and just go from there. I think this might be the meta of playing as India. Okay, at the same time, we're going to cancel our license because it's eating 4 civilian factories. Are you joking me? Okay, that's enough artificially propping up Japan. The only downside of this model now is the old models have really poor range. All the other stats are better too. That means we need range improvements desperately. Going to focus on range a bit more and then go for the rest of the stats. Once again, we need to get an air superiority to be able to strike enemy aircraft and navy when we come to it. Bombs. Bombs too. The heavy machine gun. There we go for the next aircraft model. We'll come back to this at some point because we'll have access to aluminium at some point. Having a bit of a gander at some of the aircraft bonuses, and they're pretty good. Less accident chance, more XP efficiency, more agility, more ground attack. Yeah, we need to do that. And we're getting more air XP. We can start adding on the Mayo, adding on the bigger machine guns. Problem now is there's no bomb slot, which is really bad. Now we need the range as well, which you're going to have to work on. We can make a modified version of this with the first slot being a machine gun and the second slot being a bomb. That's the limitations of the old interwar models. Engine 3, Engine 4. Mayo improvement, bigger engine. Can you imagine this in your brain? This is like a very small, old-style biplane. What would it look like? What would it look like? There you go, something like this. Like this. But we've put on it the biggest possible engine. We're going to put the biggest possible bombs and machine guns on it. And it's all also made out of wood. It's stupid, but I love it. Another pro tip, because I'm in the Japanese faction and they've got all the technology, what you're better off doing is this continuous focus. Oh, this is really far down. Is to go for technology sharing, and that will give you a boost to all these technologies you're researching because they're old ones. Range improvements, and then you're going to slap on the range. Where is it? No, that's not it. So we can do extra fuel tanks or drop pods. Nah, with extra fuel because the range is superior. Let's do it. So right now, it's 99 days for this. If we go for technology sharing, it goes from 99 days to 85 days. So there's a big saving there, so it is worth. The big bomb is done, even though we can't attach it onto anything yet. Synthetic oil, and we're going to focus more on the rubber. We wait here, 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 here. And we can start producing our own rubber, then we don't have to import it. Not that it makes much of a difference, because we don't even need that much rubber anyway. But to be fair, though, we will need more rubber when we do self-sealing fuel tanks. Middle East, naval invasion. Ooh, hello. Get to try out my new army. Hillian Division. And now it is in circle because they did a naval invasion with one single division. That was easy. Okay, let's get the boys into position. Let's do the big assault into Europe. The Allies are already squeezing into Italy. Soviets pushing on the east. I'm going to be the final nail in the coffin here. 2 armies, 3 armies, and half of you guys. You don't need that many divisions in the Suez. One pro tip as well is make sure you assign these generals to a different army. Otherwise, they're going to cause problems in future. Just specifically these divisions. Okay, there's an art form to this, okay? What you have to do is you have to squeeze to grab the victory points. But then don't make direct attacks. You want to kind of like maneuver around the outside of everything. But the initial push here is great. We'll also have a bit of air support. Attaching the air wings onto my general. And then we initially pan out, creating a bit like a fork. And then we have the ability to make teeny-weeny encirclements. Does that look good? I think so. We've got a little bit of an encirclement in the center here. Just taking out a few more divisions than usual. Yeah, that's really good. And then we do a full-on attack now and aggressive. We could take out Romania like immediately. And then Bulgaria immediately. And remember, taking out these small minor powers is a big dealio. Realize, because you're losing like 50 divisions per these small minor nations. Sure, the divisions aren't very good. And sure, they're not making out a big difference, but they make the front line more complete, and creating more gaps in the front line by eliminating these small divisions make a big difference in the long run. Romania is down. Pro tip, if you're fighting a war with a mutual friend, but not in the same faction, you want to ask for access. Otherwise, the front lines are going to go weird. Captured a land warfare facility in Albania. Okay, we're going to destroy that. That untapped Albanian passion will never be fully tapped into. Better late than never, but what a bit about our living logistics, right? Montenegro, Albania, gonna cap those two. Oh, it's German Albania. Okay. I guess all the Italian puppets have been transferred to Germany. There's Montenegro. New plane. We have radar yet? Not yet, but close. Another plane. Plane can be upgraded, so do that. Oh, I'm so tempted to put bombs on this plane. I really want to. But we're just not going to be able to get air superiority. Nah, bullshit. Who cares? Doesn't matter anymore. Big front line. Lots of disorder. Add them all to the main front line. You know, these little islands here for Corfu. This island here. The Aegean Islands too. They're such a nightmare. Either make Marines. Either make a ridiculous amount of casts. But otherwise, you're going to struggle to break them. Or, yeah, just Marines or cast spam. That usually are the solutions. One of the most annoying things here is the color of my nation and also the Italian puppet state are exactly the same. Yep, that's annoying. Italy is capped for the second time. Because your planes are a very old model, even though they've got great machine guns and great engines, make sure you exercise them to level 3 because you need all the advantages you're going to get, and the allied planes are going to be amazing. So play to your strengths. Engine 4. Always a good idea to upgrade the engine because it improves all the stats for the aircraft, giving you more agility. Well, a small amount of agility and a big boost for your maximum speed. Once again, I can't get my head around the fact that this is an old biplane and it's got like the biggest, most powerful, chunky engine possible. Damn. Orders. Greece naval invasion. And when they do that, you want to close this down because if they grab those islands again, it's going to cause so many problems for you. So, all right, you've got political power, energy your subjects, and integrate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've run out of political power. And that has gained us an additional 1 factory. Oh, no, 4, 5. I don't actually know how many we've gained. An amount, a number. Just a reminder that this is the division template. It's insane. Damn, industry is so big now. Rubber, more rubber. And yeah, we still have to import a lot of rubber. That's not going to change. We are losing guns. In the last few days, we've lost 1,000, but we have 81,000 in the piggy bank. So don't worry about it. We have all the reserves. One thing you can do as well, if you want to integrate your puppets quicker, do this. Suppress subjects. Now, instead of gaining 0.5 reduction of autonomy per day, it'll be reduced by 1 per day. But that still means it's going to take you 1,000 days. Slight dev oversight there. I'll tell you one thing I'm never short of is oil. Only in the Middle East means I've got a limit of it. Also, don't forget to go for the research for a naval invasion. You know what's coming. Hold out. It's worth it. Trust me. Berlin captured by the elephants. The Timurids. I only do historical games. You know that, right? Level 6 for your Mayo. Allows you to select a policy. Oh, what do we want? 5% agility is not that much, but it's going to help in those dogfights. Or do we go for the pure numbers? I think I'm going to do the agility. Flies are always useful for naval invasions too. Yeah, you know what's coming. Just chill. My contribution is 37%. That's pretty impressive to say how late I joined the war. Now the front lines of the Axis are about to collapse, but then I'm going to add up to the Allied front lines. And this is the bit where the game gets a bit goofy because now it's going to create occupied territory on top of me. You'll see. All right, we've got close air Savoy boyos now. We can attack the Aegeans. Now we can strike these islands with the cast support and actually make a meaningful impact. Germany's capped, so I'm just going to make a bit of a strange push across the coastline. Grabbing Albania, Croatia, Italy. I think that's pretty much it. And then next up, we need to grab as much navy as possible. So demands and the Vichy France. America and Britain desperately want Montenegro. We'll battle for it. There you go, and I've got it. Okay, this is where the front lines go kind of wonky. Well, surprisingly, though, I've still got my corridor leading through into Italy. So this has actually worked out as planned for me. What I need to do now is get all of you guys out. What you do is get access to Germany and through Austria and go through here and go through here. Okay, the AI got a bit confused there for a second. It wasn't sure if it was attacking or defending, so I had to turn off the battle plan to reactivate it. For some reason, I control Poland. I'm not sure why. Okay, British Italy is being ripped in half. Complete our doctrines. You just need to push through the Alps now. And I'm pretty certain the elephants are super effective in the Alps, right? I know my history, okay? Nice. Encirclement in the south. Around them. Keep going. Break that river line. Easy. And the south has been completely dumpstered. Just keep going. Spain has joined the Japanese faction. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. That's actually kind of helpful. I have a proper navy now. Well, they're very old ships. Technologically, incredibly out of date. I push into France, which is just like a knife through butter. It's really fun to do this, but I do feel like there's very little strategy to do this because the elephants just are self-propelled forward, you know? Start building proper radar. France has capitulated a second time. And Europe. You know, guys, I'll be totally honest with you. There's no much strategy to this. It's kind of autopilot, but I'm having big fun with this. And I feel like all history paths should just be big fun. There should never be any thought of like, is this historically accurate? I mean, this is silly because look at these elephants in the Netherlands. It's so dumb, but this is fun for me. I'm getting like a nice buzz from this, you know? Okay, the next part of the plan, build radar here and then build air bases the north of France. Oh, I wonder what's coming. I wonder what Dave's up to. My 10 attack boyo. Naval invasion with elephants. Whoa, Dave, no, that's not historically accurate. Don't do that. Don't care. The one spy into Great Britain. Okay, we do have access to a lot of aluminium now, so I think we can upgrade the planes. So, it's going to be machine gun, big engine, machine gun, Zen the bomb, a heavy bomb, extra fuel, self-sealing, and I think that's pretty much it. I guess I could add a turret on for just a little bit extra damage. Oh, that's overweight now. Okay, that literally just puts it overweight. Okay, save. All right, now this is the big test. If I click this, how much resources do I need? Oh, wow. Okay, that is too much. Rubber's okay, but I just can't do the aluminium. It looks like I'm gonna have to be devious here by making them out of wood. And there we go. Now that's a reasonable amount. Okay, there is a way of doing this, okay? And I love that. It's so creative. The Air Force designer is so good because of that reason. It's so cool that you struggle with aluminium, you struggle with rubber, but there's like ways you can tweak the planes to make them affordable for what your needs are, which I think is so cool. All right, planes are being pumped out now. How many planes we got? Total of 5,000. Good. Okay. Now the elephants are strong, but then when you got 5k CAS on your ass as well, that's pretty strong too. 5k CAS on your ass. Oh man, I'm a poetry. The rhyming, lyrical genius. Right now, getting through the mountains, getting across the straits is hard work, but with the amount of CAS that I've got, I just choose through them like a knife through butter. Oh, look, the hardest part to break. And it's like, oh no, we're losing. But then here comes the CAS. Never mind, the CAS wasn't enough either. I tried. Let's do another push, but with staff office plan. Max planning now is 71%. That's pretty chunky. Let's go. Oh, I can't push now because the straight's covered. Okay, never mind. All right, well, that plan was done. Started and it ended quicker than ever. All right, ships are here now. And we need to get the Air Force into this position. Again, still got 5k planes, which is good. And we are going to begin by doing naval strike. Yeah, naval strike. I was thinking maybe that's a little bit too early, but nah, never mind, doesn't matter. Okay, we're hitting a great number, but then we are losing a great number of planes as well. Fortunately, there's not a lot we can do about that. When you get the more advanced radar, build it, and then you can strike more ships. Objective here is to knock out a lot of the small screeners, subs, destroyers, and then you hit the large ships and then force them into port to repair. Right now, we've got full control. Ooh, man, the losses we take when we strike a single ship is massive. What do you know? Look at that. It is an elephant in Rome, crushing the Colosseum. Just go to limited exports to hold on to more resources. Oh, wow, and that's just fixed all of our issues. Well, most of them anyway. Now we just need more rubber. Build the refineries. Let's go. It's like we invested in them at just the right moment, too. That Soviet-occupied zone of Germany. It is the entirety of Germany. I've never seen that before. Naval supremacy is 35%. We need more radar, more detection in this region to be able to strike more ships. Therefore, to put our own ships into this said region. More ships, more radar. Go, go, go. How are we doing? Naval supremacy, 48%. We need over 50, so we're super close. More radar is what we needed. And now, with an extra 2 levels, that's going to improve the detection in this sea zone. And therefore, to root out any ships that we are avoiding our bombing strikes. Okay, the final part of the plan, we're going to deploy all these planes, exercise them up, check the naval supremacy is 100%. We've cleared out every single allied ship. Do a naval invasion with these 2 armies, exercise them up ready, and we've just finished advanced landing craft. The first landing is going to be really tough because, as I mentioned earlier, the naval invasion penalties for the horses, big horses, ones with trunks, have big penalties for amphibious, which is to be expected, to be fair, because they're elephants, you know, not really meant for amphibious landings, you know. However, if we get hooves on the ground, then we'll be in a position where we can just wipe out the UK instantly and show you the very final part of the plan, which is this: an eye for an eye. Gains war goal against the UK and a special secret administrative decision. Final rubber tech. We have enough rubber to be self-sustaining now. Biggest rubber producer in the world. Controls actually no rubber. Well, that's not true. Actually, there's a little bit in... Oh, there isn't any in Burma. Okay, I thought there was some rubber in Burma. No, we have no rubber. It is all just synthetically produced. Wow. All right, I'm done exercising this dude. 3, a 2, and a 1. Off you go. Naval invasion support. Everyone go here. And close air support. 9,000 CAS on the UK. Oh, we actually don't have enough naval supremacy. Do we not? No, we only have 29%. So you need to put them here. Put them on naval strike. You get a boost of 100% extra projection due to the fact that you've got full air superiority. And then slowly we bleed them away. Extra radar is going to help too. And at any moment now, we'll gain over 50%. 29%. We are striking them. However, it's kind of limited. We had full control a moment ago. Now we're struggling. It's the detection that's the problem. It's going to be one of these moments that I look away for just a brief moment. And then the naval invasion starts. Maybe I just don't look at it. Maybe it'll start. What did I just say? What did I just say? However, this one's not started. Come on, both of them have to go at the same time. Otherwise, it loses. Oh, actually, still planning. Whoops. Okay, I guess it's all on these guys now. All right, here we go, lads. 9k CAS. More air crews. Full control. The minute we land, we grab the first port and then grab London. Yeah, this is over now. This is over. Bring the boys over as well. The minute we start pushing, we do so much damage. Pop it off with the air support. We've never even touched our doctrines either, but we'll do ground support anyway, because that's going to help us. And then push. And it should just be easy now. Yeah, easy. Cardiff, Birmingham. Oh, London's fallen. Not a lot of American troops here. They're all British ones and Commonwealth ones. Once again, the CAS is doing all the damage here. Remember, this guy has got 10 attack. I keep reminding you guys of that, but the reason why he's got 10 attack is I went for bold attack super early. And that gives a huge potential to hit really hard. You don't need 10 attack, but just, tell you what, it does help. Beeline. Liverpool, Newcastle, Glasgow is the capital of the UK. These are dark times, boys. It makes the Scottish people very happy, though. Glasgow being the capital of Scotland. Many generations would have not seen the Timurids exist and then not exist, okay? But look at this, boy. We expand all the way from the east to our princely kingdoms, to the Middle East, to Anatolia, through the Balkans, Italy, France, touching Great Britain. And also, it's a bug. I'm meant to be called the Timurids as well, but for some reason, I'm still the Sultanate of Memes. And then we have this option. Incorporate West Britain Company. My brain didn't want to say that right. Everything in my bone just wanted to say East something or other. Incorporate West Britain Company. Boom. You have full control of Wales. And now you have formed the Mughal West Britain Company. Look at his stats. They're insane. What is this? I don't know. I guess it's meant to be the opposite of the East Indian Company, but you've created it in Britain. It's kind of a bit of a twist. Like, we're colonizing you now. Ha ha. There's no actual flavor or functionality to this. They've got a generic focus tree and they control Wales. Cool. Like the flag, though. Beautiful flag. Oh, say, can you see the Welsh Company of Britain? If your name is on screen right now, you are one of the elites and you get access to these videos significantly earlier. Every single person now will get a kiss for their continued membership. Mwah, 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 mwah.